That's the way we're going. Through there and up that. This Scandale Pass is possibly the way we're going to come down in the morning. We haven't decided yet. Good morning, welcome to the Lake District. Out for a wild camp. I'm not on my own this time, got my lad with me, so that's a good do. Been looking forward to this. We're parked at the campsite as I've shown you, and we're going to go up this steep hill here to a higher Hartsop Dodd. I've been putting this off, this camp, because it's kind of just all uphill and it's going to be hard. We're winter gear anyway, but this Red Screes, what we might camp at, gets very busy, especially in the summer, so if you want it a tad quieter, it's best to do it in the winter. So we are doing, it's a mixed forecast. Mountain weather is saying up to 15 kilometers an hour with no rain on Saturday, which is today. But Mountain Weather Information Services are saying 20 to 30 miles an hour, and it's going to rain round about lunchtime, a bit well, light rain it said. So two completely different forecasts yet again, but you've got to come out and have a look, haven't you? It looks good that way, it does. You get to the pre-stall behind me that way, and the other way behind me now, Scandale Tarn Wild. In fact, the walk up to the pre-stall, it's a cracking walk actually, really scenic, but you've got to watch where you're going to get to that pre-stall. It's not obvious. Stop for a breather, take a top off, be bold, set off cold, never listen, set off 15 minutes later, taking the top off. You can see the campsite a bit better down the bottom, and Brothers Water. I'm trying my new rucksack out, got one of them Atom packs, which everybody seems to rave about. I'm trying that out, all bought and paid for by myself, same with all my gear, it's all bought and paid for. So there's nothing wrong with my Osprey Exos 48. I love that pack, but it was just a bit small for me. I tried to persevere, but I needed something slightly bigger. So this pack is bigger in size, not litres. This is, well, it's 2 litres bigger. It's a 50 litre compared to the 48. And it's a British company. Well, not just a British company, like Rab and Montaigne. The product is actually made in the Lake District in this country, because I think is it Rab filled the sleeping bags in this country but have them made abroad. I think that's correct, could be wrong. So it's good to support a British company. I think this is the Wainwrights because it was all about the view. Pretty sure it is. Boom, get in. Higher Hartsop Dodd. If it's not, we pass them all anyway, so it makes no difference. That was steep, that's what I was dreading doing that for ages, because you can see it from the road every time you pass. You can see how steep up it goes. Done it now. Bit breezy, but nothing too bad at the minute. Off to that, is it the little Hart Crag, I think, or Hart Dodd Crag? I'll have a look. The wind's picked up, probably about 15 mile an hour. We think this is the Wainwrights here. We've bagged it. The highest point, the trig, is just up there. I'll keep the camera still. Which I believe the highest point isn't the Wainwrights. So I think it's just that behind us. But as usual, we're going to do them all. Keep the camera still. Even this one. Oh, I don't like the look of the weather over there. We do seem to be above the Crag. I shall show you. So what we're doing now is Little Hart Crag. We've got Red Screes up there, but we're going to cut across, I think, do Middle Dodd, get that done, and then go up to Red Screes and then decide what we're doing. And in the morning, I think we're going to drop. The idea was to camp Red Screes, do Middle Dodd the next day, then drop down, but it's really steep, so we think we'll do Middle Dodd now, then Red Screes, and maybe come back to where we are now, and in the morning go down the valley. Something Pass it's called. I showed you the picture at the start, I can't remember at the minute. So that's the cunning plan. It's a plan anyway, I don't know about cunning. Oh, some water here, and that looks pretty clean. Temperature's dropped, the wind's picked up. It's never going to be perfect, is it? Let's get our water now from here. Looks nice and clean, fresh. Not far below the summit of Red Screes. You can see the Crag keeps coming and going. And we thought we'd best pick up our water now, because I didn't want to filter out of that tarn up there, because I believe it's really peaty and horrible, and you don't want to wreck your filters, do you? Right, so we've loaded up. We've got 2.5 litres of water with us now, so 1/2 litre clean in our bottles and 2 litres each of dirty, well, I said dirty, that we need to filter from the stream. Right, we think we're going to try and head to Middle Dodd and then we'll go back up to Red Screes, and if it's not going to be any good, we're going to backtrack on ourselves and camp behind Little Hart Crag. That's the plan, I think. Don't like the colour of that sky behind me. Oh, far better this side. We'll come off piste a bit. There's supposed to be a little path that cuts diagonally below Red Screes to Middle Dodd, sorry. So well, if there is a path, we can't find it. We see footprints every now and again, but anyway, it's only there. So we're going to plod on, do that, then walk up to Red Screes. Oh, and hopefully it's not going to be blown out and horrible. If it is, we're going to go back over there, but it's more effort, more up and down, or down and up. Yeah. Trouble is though, if it looks nice on this one to camp, we've not done that. So we'd have to go back up to that anyway, up to Red Screes. So you think you're being smart, don't you? And then sometimes you're not. Anyhow, it's all fun. Anyway, unless I'm making it hard, I'm not happy, am I? I'm going to make it a little bit harder than it should be. Well, I make the Wainwrights harder anyway by carrying 15 kilos and camping. I need to pay attention. Right, I'll see you up Middle Dodd. I think this is Middle Dodd. Boom. Could be that down there as well, so I'll probably have to go and touch that. Probably is knowing Wainwright, it's bugger. Red Screes. Screes in the distance that we've got up now there. Looking at it now, I don't think we're going to be camping up there because it just looks grim. So just bag this other end bit, make sure we've got them all, and then head up there, and then see the wind has picked up. Maybe mention weather information were right. You can never tell between the two of them, they don't match. Maybe they should look at each other's forecast and then think, I wonder if ours is correct or not, and rethink it, re-look at it, assess it, whatever. Trying to get out of this wind so we can have something to eat. Definitely picked up windy. Yeah, it's probably this bottom thing here is probably weird, right? There's a sod for it, or was I should say, not here anymore, is it? Right, got them all anyway. Kind of wish we'd have done that now and got it out of the way. It's all about the views. Really not sure we're going to camp up here at all. We've probably got closer to 17 kilos with all that water we've picked up. But it's winter gear, you know, it's heavy. Here we are. Nobody about. At last. Red Screes in the bag. Boom. Boom. Got my windbreak on. Bit blowy. It's not too bad. It's slightly sheltered next to the tarn at the top of Red Screes. But as you can see, it's just clagged, and I think it's forecast to stay clagged all day. So even though we could get away with how windy it is, it's just slightly sheltered here, very slightly, but it's still quite early, and I think the clag here is just in for the day. We're going to have a bit of a mooch about, and we're thinking of going over to Little Hart Crag and camp there. At least we've got some views. So that's 4 in the bag, chuffed with that. That's brilliant. So I've got 4, Sam's got 4. Yeah, a good do. So it's the first time I've been to Red Screes and can't see anything, so perhaps when I've done them all, it's one to come back to. Yeah, there's a few spots you could camp at. I think we're gonna head back that way, just for a nicer evening, if nothing else. I'll probably see you when we're putting the tents up. More changes than Mr. Ben. Anyhow, we've stopped at this lower tarn just to have a nosy. Not a bad spot here for camping. It's just below little Hart Crag on the western side, and there's the tarn. Doesn't look too bad. Get a couple of tents here. Yeah, you could camp here. Wouldn't like a swim in it though. Not today anyway. Still a bit busy to camp. We're going to have a look up there, camp up there somewhere a bit sheltered. It's a shame we can't camp up there, but the Crag, it was just like the other week, couldn't see a thing, so what's the point? So anyway, we'll find somewhere with some views and the all important internet signal. Well, I was so impressed with this spot, decided to stay. Why not? That tarn, Scandale Tarn, Scandale, just below little Hart Crag. And I'm not sure with what that fella's, because there's a Dove Crag, but I thought it was further round. I'm not sure if it's that. Doesn't matter. The Crag's lifted from Red Screes now, but we were too early, so we came down, had a mooch about, had a brew, and decided to set up here. So we set up. The good thing with the Actor and the Solo is that's kind of a right-handed tent, and that's kind of a left-handed tent, because if you lie on your side facing out, you use your left hand to do things, and if you laid on your side in that tent leaning out the door, you're using your right hand, but they can face each other, if you get me, if you get what I mean. Anyway, the forecast again is off. It should be blowing a hoolie. That's why we didn't stay up there. And it said the Crag were going to come in and stay, and it hasn't. It's lifted. But I wasn't over keen on staying on Red Screes anyway. It is a popular spot, and I kind of like the place to ourselves. I think we got Windermere down there. I'll have to check. It must be. Not come that far up, have we? Yeah. A bit more tidier today. Ooh. The usual stuff. Just charging up some little bits and bobs. The sleeping bag. It doesn't give a comfort rating, this, you know. Yeah. Bit tidier. Sam's chilling in his tent. He's got the Decathlon Macaloo 2 sleeping bag. which was my first one I bought, but it was a bit narrow for me. You have to be slim, you have to be, you know, not bulky. So that's why I like the Rab, because it's a wide sleeping bag, and I toss and turn and sleep on my side, so it's a better sleeping bag for me. And I think roughly they're probably about the same rating. Now that has got a comfort rating of -8, and I would think the Rab is something similar, but everybody's different. It depends. I think this is why Rab don't do a comfort rating, because it depends on your mats, how insulated your mat is, your tent, how drafty your tent is, how you feel yourself. You know, are you dehydrated? There's lots of variables that can make a difference to your sleeping bag and how warm you are. You know, what you're wearing as a base layer in your sleeping bag. Did you have something to eat? Are you damp? It all makes a difference on how warm or cold you are in your sleeping bag. Anyhow, we can have a nice chat and enjoy the views later. Hopefully we might get some stars. Hopefully. I'm going to have to look at what these fells are. I'll have to have a look on the map. Can't remember. But anyway, Scandale Tarn, and we're in the morning. Oof. Yeah. My knee's still sore. Do you remember last week? Still sore. Not last week, 2 weekends ago, when I did the other camp. So anyway, waffling. We're gonna drop down the dip in the morning. We're just gonna follow the track back round, down into the dip, and then swing a left, which is a Scandale Pass. Oh yeah, very nice. Nice flat spot this. Happy with it. You probably could get 4 tents here. A pinch, a push. I tell you what, it's still chilly in that wind. It is. I know it's only blowing less than 10 miles an hour, but it's cold. Right, just gonna chill out. Well, good morning. It was a very uneventful night last night. We didn't get any stars. It cleared for 20 minutes or so, half an hour. We thought, oh, we're going to get some stars, because they were like no moon. But no, the cloud came back over, and then eventually the cloud came in. So more's the pity. So we got down to about 3 degrees last night, which I actually felt colder than I did at -3, because of just the wet and the wind and everything. So this morning, every backpackers, wild campers worst, not nightmare, but it's raining. We've got to pack up in the rain. So that is just not fun. Putting your tent up in the rain and pulling it down. If you had to choose one out of the two, it'd be, I'd rather pull it down in the rain than put it up. So yeah, put it up in the dry is better than putting it up in the rain. But I'd rather put it up and pull it down in the dry. I'll give you a peek outside. I can hear Sam moving. I think he's awake, which is good. I think we'll have a tiny bit of a lie-in this morning, but it's going to get really windy very soon. That's what we're faced with. Yeah, I can't complain too much. It's I can't remember last time I had to pull down in the rain. Or break camp is the technical word. Or is it strike camp? No, strike you put up, break you pull down. Anyway, I'm having a coffee and I'll start slowly packing away. I got used to having black coffee, which makes making coffee out on the trail a lot easier. You know, if you don't need milk or sugar, just coffee makes it so much simpler. So everything's damp inside the tent again. Sleeping bag's damp, the inner's damp. I did vent, but it's to be expected. The wind stopped, the clag came in, and you're gonna get condensation. You'd be under a tarp, and the inner of a tarp would be condensated. It's just how it is. It's just conditions. So anyhow, we're going to do the Scandale Pass way back to the campsite. So it's from the Tarn, hang a right, down the hill to the crossroads, take a left, follow the track. I've not actually walked it, but that's the route. Yep. So it's been good to be out with my lad, and just to be out in general. Good for the mind and soul. So I don't know how much filming I'll do on the way down. If it's just rain, hopefully we'll get a bit of a break and I'll give you a quick look at the trail back down the track, the path, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, until then, I'll catch you in a bit. Whew. All packed up, leave no trace as usual. That's where we were. Well, here, actually. These two spots. Lovely spot, to be fair. The rain just held off, but the moisture in the air is getting you wet anyway, so I've got our waterproofs on. So we're going to head down. What a shame it's all claggy again. You can just see a little cairn marker. Onto Scandale Pass, down the valley. We should be back within the hour, I would have thought, but you never know. Waterproof jackets off. Yeah, it's only had it on for the mist and the wind. It'd come a bit lower, took the jacket off. That Montbell jacket, it's the lightest jacket I could find that had pit zips, because you sweat, don't you? They do help a little bit, and because the jacket spends probably 80% plus of its life in your rucksack, I wanted the lightest one I could find, and that was it, the Montbell. I'm not sure what name it is now because I've had it a while, but there is some YouTube videos on it. But if you Google Montbell waterproof jacket with pit zips, it should come up. The rucksack, first time I've worn it today. Yeah, it's a very nice rucksack. Couple of little niggles I'm not sure about. I find the chest strap very fiddly to clip in. Probably get better with practice. The hip belt buckle, very small, and I'm just a bit worried, you know, whether that could break, because you know you'd be in trouble if you was on a through hike and that broke. What else? It's a roll top, and it's the first time I've had a roll top, so I'm just getting used to that, because I love the lid or the brain on the Osprey. Well, I like lids in general, so it's a learning curve for me with this, with using the roll top. But I got the extra hip belt pockets, and they are fantastic, cavernous, loads in them, and I can open and close them, which I struggled with the Osprey, so that's a big bonus. Love the bottle holder, that's good, but that does kind of get a little bit more fiddly with the chest strap. But it's first day out with it. I think it'll come into its own when you've got lightweight gear in it. As most rucksacks, I'll feel better with lightweight gear. I mean, I had up to 70, it's rated up to 19 kilos, but at the end of the day it's a lightweight rucksack, and I had 17 in it at one point. So yeah, you know, I felt the weight. But I would imagine on a through hike, and you've got anything up to probably 13 kilos at the most, I think it'll come into its own then. So that's a little first insight of my thoughts. It's not a review, it's just my thoughts on the Atom Pack.